Western time, Joe.
Yeah.
We had Eastern.
We're live.
You had Eastern time the other day.
I did. What did Carolyn does it? Carolyn went out.
I don't know who kicked me off. Who kicked me off? That was very rude. Okay, got it. Okay, are we ready? Are we ready? Sorry. Is Jazz coming back?
Yes. Yeah.
I'd like to call the Public Works and Environmental Services Committee meeting of June 15th, 2021 to order at 5:02 p.m. On the unceded territory of the Subats First Nation, where we all work, live, and play, and we thank them for that opportunity. This is held electronically, transmitted at the council chambers under the Ministerial Order M192. Introduction of any late items? None? I need an approval of the agenda. Councillor Sandhu, Mayor Day, all those in favor? Business arising and unfinished business. Ongoing items still being addressed. Community cleanup. Mayor Day, I think that was your item.
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam Chair. Councillor Sandhu and I had originally talked about this, and I think where we left off was we're going to find out if there's going to be a river stewardship committee or river cleanup in the fall. So I'm going to defer to Councillor Sandhu to verify that, and we can talk about how we'd like to move forward then.
So last night at the Couch and Lake River Stewardship Society, they set a date for Sunday, September 12th.
September 12th.
Yes.
Good. Okay, thank you.
So if I may?
Yes.
Okay, so just any thoughts on council, how we'd like to proceed? Do we want to take part in the river cleanup itself, or would we like to do just a total neighborhood event or throughout the whole community? So I'll leave it at that.
Councillor McGonigal?
I think by coordinating community cleanup along with the river cleanup, that they have announced that we'll amalgamate the process and have a contingent on both ends. We can publicize that as we get closer to the date and incorporate the two functions into one and see if we can't do a total river/community cleanup.
Have we got a plan of how it wouldn't be garden waste, it would just be things trashy things and things you would normally take to the dump? Is that correct, Mayor Day?
Yeah, I guess I would happily look back and share all the details from the cleanup in your own neighborhood program that they ran in the core, but obviously we're going to be a little bit further away from COVID then, and we'll be able to do things a little different. So maybe I could share that with staff and let staff kind of mull over what a plan might look like with supplying garbage bags and their ability to accept bags of garbage at Public Works perhaps maybe, and things like that, where residents could drop things off as well for free that they picked up in their neighborhood. So if that's a good first step, then I'd be happy to share that information with staff.
Councillor Sandhu, you had your hand up.
If we're talking about a community overall cleanup, did we put a budget in place for the cost for the town in the budget for this year? Because I don't recall seeing that. And if not, I think we have to be careful as to what we're opening up a situation that could cost the town substantial amount of money that's not budgeted. So that's my only concern. If we've got money budgeted, then let's proceed further. But so that's going to staff for direction.
Councillor McGonigal?
I'll let staff answer if they do have any input.
We could look into that and report back to council to the committee next meeting.
So if I may, Madam Chair, once we do go over the financials on the garbage function and whether there is any room to incorporate that, I don't think we're looking at sofas or anything like that,
No.
that sort of neighborhood pickup. We're looking at volunteers going throughout their neighborhoods in the community and then having an allocation drop-off spot.
Yeah.
So if we could incorporate something along the lines of the Fire Smart neighborhoods to maybe lead their part in the neighborhoods that they represent, and then try to look for volunteers in various other neighborhoods, whether it be Joel Road or the 100 Houses. I know Joel is a Fire Smart community, so perhaps the captain could incorporate that. And then have a central drop off and just look at picking up trash, et cetera, that may have accumulated within our own neighborhoods.
Good idea. Thank you. Anyone else? Any other comments? Okay, so we're leaving that to staff for a report for the next meeting. Number 2 is transit shelters status. Is that our superintendent or our CAO?
That would be the superintendent. I don't know if he's got an update.
Oh, you're not, microphone.
Mute.
Sorry. First of all, actually, I'm going to apologize. I put the wrong, on my report, I put the wrong date on it, 2020 instead of 2021, if anybody didn't notice that. But
That's okay.
so on the shelters, I've been speaking to them the last few days, and everything is ready to go. The one beside the fields, hopefully it'll arrive within a week's time. Everything's in place now. So that one's ready to go. The one at the new building at the fire hall, those benches are in place, so that one's complete. And the one we want to put in, the new bus pullover and shelter, we want to put in across from the country grocer. I've got the design done now. I got to send it back to the Ministry of Transportation for their approval, and then so it's probably a couple of months away before we get going on that.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for our superintendent on that? Thank you very much. Oh, Councillor McGonigal?
I'm sorry, Madam Chair. I'm just wondering about the shelter further to the east, across from the Peters Center, whether that will be utilized as well, or would that be taken out once that pullover and shelter is incorporated by the country grocer?
At this time, it's going to be left in place. There hasn't been any talk about taking it out, but that may happen. And if they decide to put a larger one, which we're going to try to get a larger one at the new bus pullover, if they give us a new large one, that's up to BC Transit. They may decide to take that one out.
And if I may, just as a follow-up, we have heard in the past that it can be quite congested there when a bus is pulled over, and perhaps a logging truck trying to get by the traffic calming islands that are in the middle there. And that may be something that we would look at investigating once that is incorporated.
Mm-hmm.
Right, thank you very much. Thank you for that. Delegations and representations, none. Correspondence, none. Verbal comment from the public on a subsequent item on the agenda. Again, you may phone in at 749-6681 or email to general@lakecowichan.ca. We will come back at 5:13 and see if we have any questions from the residents. Okay, it's 5:13. Do we have any phone calls or emails? You're muted.
No phone calls, no emails.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you. We're going down to reports now. Number 7, A, Superintendent of Public Works and Engineering Services, read the Public Works report for May 2021. Mr. Sandu.
Okay, so our water main flushing is complete for the year. Sanitary flushing is complete unless some issues come up and we have to do some more flushing. Catch basin and culvert cleaning. It's just continuing whenever we have time. We just carry on and cleaning inlets and outlets when we can fit it in. We're hoping this month to start on some of the sidewalk and repairs and maintenance of sidewalks, some sidewalk cleaning and stuff, where we got lots of moss on the sidewalks. We're starting to do some power washing and cleaning of them. Sanitary pump station, it's pump station number 4. We got some upgrades to do on that one, so that's just an ongoing thing we're working on, and it'll be complete sometime in August. Arbutus Avenue sanitary upgrade. We got all our quotes, and unfortunately, they were all over budget. And at this time, we've decided to put it on hold. Trying to come up with some other ideas for cost-saving measures. Maybe only do part of it or something. Joseph and I have spoken on that, and I've touched base with the engineer. We're coming up with some sort of a plan. Hopefully, we can get some of it done. The oil spill on Park Road, that's an ongoing thing. There's still a little, they'll be there for a while yet, just cleaning it up. So street sweeping around town, it's ongoing whenever we have time, or there's an areas that definitely need cleaning, we get out and get that done. Paving project for the year, we've done Joel Road and King George Road. They're all complete now. We got some line painting to do, and that's about it. And we'll be finished the paving projects for the year. The new overflow parking lot that we're building on Point Ideal is now complete and ready for use. And as of last week, we started posting the 2-hour parking zones in Saywell Park and the area around there. We've posted a couple of the Robin parking signs up. There's some more to go up. We're hoping to get them done this week. So we'll be probably beginning of the week, we'll be enforcing and start ticketing if people are parked for longer than 2 hours. We'll be monitoring that too, just if it's, if it gets really busy, that's when we're going to be enforcing more. If it's just rainy days or something and we got lots of room, we won't be bothering people. What else have we got there? So we got we're just other projects that we're planning on doing, with some water upgrades and stuff. So we're just doing some planning on that stuff right now, and getting quotes on materials and cost to install. And then just a quick reminder to everybody, it's that time of the year, the grasses and weeds, everything is growing. If they can please help clean their boulevards adjacent to their properties, just weed eat and keep the trees trimmed back and stuff, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Councillor Sandu.
Thank you. Can we put a notice on our website and Facebook page just regarding the parking, the monitoring of it, when it's going to be starting, just so our locals are aware, if that's possible?
I'm sure we can do that.
Thank you, Mayor Day. Oh, you're muted.
There's my one free one. Just like to back up that comment that I feel that we really need to do a really good job of getting that out there so we don't get too much flack from our residents.
Councillor McGonigal.
Thank you very much. I'm going to go on to another topic. I'm sure with the over quote on Arbutus Avenue Sanitary, the cost of materials played a significant role in the overages on the budget estimates. From those who did submit, I think it's an important project that we should somehow try to find an opportunity to complete this year to mitigate some of the I&I that may be coming from that system, and which may be impacting the license that we are currently undertaken on the effluent within our sewer treatment plant. So if we can take this perhaps to the next finance and admin for some possible discussion on where some funds may be appropriated from, I think that would be appropriate if we could get it either. I know it's contractual, so perhaps it may reside within in camera, that we know where the budget deficiencies were on the submissions and how we might be able to incorporate somehow to continue to try to do that this year. So it's just a thought. I'm not suggesting that is what we do, but I'm just trying to think outside the box how we can get this project done this year.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is an important one. We need to either get a part of it done or some repairs, because the last few years we've had issues with it, not just the I&I, but it backing up because there's roots and stuff in the line and we're having problems.
And if I may, Madam Chair, I think it's important that council know what the deficiencies in the contract and the RFP were, how much difference there was within our suggested budget and the contractor's response. And from there, we may be able to find a solution in another avenue. And I'm not going to suggest here what that might be, but we can talk about that if we feel appropriate.
Mr. Fernandez?
Yeah, I think prior to even going to finance, it would be appropriate to reissue the proposal call, because sometimes the costs come down the second time around. It's happened before, so I think that would be, that way we have a better idea of where the overages are.
Oh, that's more than appropriate. If you would like direction, I would give direction to staff to reinitiate the submissions. And in the interim, if we could have that discussion in camera at council, I think that may help us moving forward. But again, to reinitiate the RFP, I feel would be appropriate as well.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, thank you very much. I just had one question about the 2-hour parking. Now, are you still putting signs in other parts of South Shore Road, like where Cowichan comes out and different other places further up? Or are you just putting them in the parking lots?
No, just on Main Street too.
Okay.
We put some, you'll notice, Countrywide and A&W.
Oh, I haven't seen them yet. Okay.
That section, and also in front of the cow and that other new commercial building next to the Riverside parking lot. There's one put up there too.
What about the one at Mr. What's it called? The coffee place, because that had 1 hour. Mochica, it had 1 hour for some reason. We talked about that for years. Well, it doesn't, I guess it's not severe, but it had 1 hour there for some reason.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's still 1 hour. We haven't done anything with that one at this point.
Okay, thank you. Next on the list is Superintendent Public Works regarding the water treatment plant update.
Water treatment plant, everything is running fine, just the way it's supposed to be. So we haven't had any issues there. It's, yeah, it's running well. Really happy right now.
Good. Any questions from anyone? Yeah, yeah, knock on wood, right?
Mm,
Thank you. Yeah, because we've had a bit of rain,
Yeah.
just in case. Thank you very much. And the last one is the operations performance report from the water treatment plant. I'll just open that up so I can read it. Is there any comment from those? Yes, Mr. Fernandez.
Yeah, the only issue you can look at is the aluminum readings. I think if
Aluminum.
you look at those readings, I think it's on the last page.
Are
Second
they
one.
still high? I haven't.
Yeah, they're still a little bit high. And Island Health is well aware of those readings, and they're trying to help us try and mitigate that.
Did anyone else have a comment on that?
On page 3.
McGonigal?
Well, just to be clear, that is from the source water, not from the treatment, that the
Yeah.
aluminum count is considerably higher. Well, not considerably higher, but higher
From
than
raw water, yeah.
it's from the raw water intake, which we have identified in the past.
That's correct.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Moving right along, new business, Town of Lake Cowichan Active Transport Network. This is the final report, I believe,
Almost final report.
almost final. Are they looking for any further input or just?
Yeah, they did look for input from staff. And if you've got any input, they would be happy to entertain that.
It's quite an in-depth report.
Good report.
Yeah. What happens when this is finally presented and it's over and done? I mean, it's finally presented, then what's the next step?
The next step is apply for grants based on the recommendations that are there.
Okay. Mayor Day.
Yes, thank you very much, Madam Chair. I just wanted to comment that this report contains way more detail than I expected coming out of this, but as the administrator specified, there is a grant funding stream specific to this coming forward shortly after it's all finalized. And at least they're hoping there it is at the province, and that this will just get us basically almost shovel ready to apply for future grants. So it's an awesome tool to have on our shelf, and I haven't totally analyzed it all myself, but there's a lot of great stuff, and I can't say anything that I disagree with or anything I want to add to it. So great work by everybody that took part in this.
Thank you. Councillor McGonigal.
And I like the idea that they've utilized the age-friendly report within the active transportation almost finalized report. And as various communities move through their active transportation plans in anticipation of some funding that may be afforded to that, I think that this gives us a great template for moving forward and implementing some of those suggestions and recommendations within the report. It talks about the Cowichan Valley Regional District, for instance, and the different entities that reside around the municipality and how to incorporate that into the active transportation plan, whether it be Subats, Cowichan Valley Regional District, or MOTI. There are multiple layers that would fit within the active transportation plan. So it'll be interesting to see what opportunities do arise from the granting portion of this.
Thank you. Anyone else on that? Okay, no, it was a good job. Lots of work on that for sure. Number 9, any notices of motion? Public relations items. Just remind, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh,
Councillor
that's fine.
McGonigal.
I just want to congratulate those that participated in the ambassador program this past weekend. The virtual program was very entertaining this year. I did happen to catch some of it, and to the organizers and to the participants, I just want to thank you all for reinitiating this excellent program. The three successful young ladies will be great ambassadors for our community and surrounding area. So congratulations to you all.
Right, thank you. I think we all agree with that. I watched it too, and I was at the drive-through on Saturday, and lots of people came by to congratulate them, and that was really a good plan that they had to do that one. I just want to remind people that the COVID clinic starts next Wednesday at 8:30 in the morning, and if anybody has not had their first shot or they're looking for their second, they just need to phone that 1-833 number or check with the government plan. And someone has said they did phone that number, and they said there was no clinic in Lake Cowichan, but there was. So someone just didn't get the right information. So it's good to have it out here. And I was at Island Health today. I was going to say Island Savings, Island Health today, and one of our nurses will be doing COVID clinic every other Tuesday. So the first and third Tuesday we do Well Baby. The opposite Tuesday she will do COVID clinic, or they, depending on how many we have. So people can register with Island Health on that as well. So thank you. Now we have another question period. Phone in at 749-6681 or general@lakecowichan.ca on anything that was on this agenda. So we'll come back at 5:32. Okay, do we have any questions or phone calls? None? Kind of looks like we have one. Do we have any? You're muted.
There's nothing at all.
Nothing. Okay, I thought you had one there for a minute. Okay, well, thank you very much. Okay, let's come back at 5:40. Let's make it 5:40. Yes, Councillor McGonigal?
I
We need
believe
to-
we do have a delegation on the next agenda. Perhaps we should reach out to them and inform them when we will be starting. That's all. Thank you,
Yes,
Madam Chair.
Mr. Fernandez will do that. So
Yes.
I need a motion to adjourn. Councillor McGonigal, Councillor Sandu and Mayor Day, all in favor. So is 5:40 fine?